Hey there, Everyday Conman here, and screw this game. So this was originally going to be a quick review because I wanted to cover the game and spread the word about it, but as I'm writing this, I've noticed that this game has soared in popularity. For good reason, too. I've decided to do an analysis instead to analyze why this game is so widely praised by critics and Let's Players alike. It's actually been deemed one of the best horror games since the big Slender craze. However, the conclusion I'm going to come to about how this game is so big might actually be a little bit surprising. Of course, as this is an analysis, I'm going to have to give a quick rundown on what the game is. Five Nights at Freddy's is an independent horror game developed by Animadude, whatever. The idea of this game is simple. You are Mike Schmidt, a new security guard working the night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a kid's pizzeria and play place. You are scheduled to work for the week, 5 days, from midnight to 6 in the morning each night. Along with that, every night you will have a certain amount of power to survive off of, and absolutely everything you do will take power. From using lights, to turning on doors, to checking the security footage itself, and so on. So it's already got the terrifying atmosphere, but what's really getting people is that terrifying piece of crap! At night, the animatronics come to life for no rhyme or reason other than to be terrifying and make you one of them. So already you can tell this game can be pretty creepy. I mean, animatronics are already creepy as they are. Massive robots and wacky oversized animal costumes? Why not just make them friggin' clowns or giant spiders or both? Actually, don't do that. I just figured out what my next game is going to be about. So they took a concept that's already pretty spooky, but is actually really underused in the video game medium. I mean, you see mannequins, little girls, creepypastas, dolls, zombies, and a ton of other what-the-hells. But animatronics is a nice switch-up. I hate phobias. Automatonophobia. Why are these so hard? Every phobia is so different. Whatever, I digress. Automatonophobia is a very common thing that is surprisingly underused in the horror game genre. We get more what the hells than we get real things. I have never and probably will never see that freaking Dead Space monster. I will never see a Gatherer, and the closest thing I'll ever see to Slender Man are guys in white spandex and a snazzy suit at a convention. I will at least see a doll, a mannequin, or an animatronic every freaking week. And I don't believe I'm gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese for ever after this game. That's one factor that's truly terrifying about this game. These are animatronics. These are real things that you just don't see that often, but you know they exist. Plus it feeds off a common fear. We all know Chucky's gonna doom us one day. Even if he is Jarrett Reddick now. That's right, I'm calling it now. When the apocalypse comes, we better all grab our thermoses because we're gonna be bowling for soup. Another factor in this game is intensity. This game is really well thought out in order to keep you on edge at all times. You're always doing something in this game. It's balanced in such a way that you have to focus on everything. You can't just put one thing as top priority. Close the doors for too long, run out of energy. Always check the security cameras, blind spots. Never check the security camera, pirate furry. Only check pirate's code for pirate furry, faster pirate furry. This game is made in such a way that you have to shift your entirety of focus from the atmosphere within the game to the environment of the security camera, and there's no in-between medium. You have to choose one or the other, even though you might not want to. There's another factor to this horror game, and it completely sets it aside from other horror games. This is a game where you sit down and do nothing. The enemies come to you, and all you have is a little box that you can't close forever to protect yourself. It's a feeling of helplessness. People give props to Amnesia and Slender because they did something modern horror games don't. Modern horror games let you fight back. You can shoot up whatever's scaring you or attacking you in something like Dead Space. However, in most indie horror games, the best way of fighting back is to solve a puzzle or run. In this game, you can literally do nothing. There is no puzzle or pattern to solve. It's entirely random. You can't run or hide. You're completely immobile. You need to survive through a method that is as steady as an egg in an earthquake. It's this feeling of helplessness that gets to you, but it also sets up for the final nail in the coffin. I was watching a couple Let's Plays recently of this game, and I heard something from Markiplier that really made me understand why this game is so good.
God, I actually feel... Oh, hi. There you are. I actually feel this strange need to survive. Oddly enough, I feel actually in danger. So if I screw this up... Oh, God. It's like there's something actually at stake here.
Immersion. This game is immersion at its finest. This character is doing nothing but sitting and waiting for these monstrosities to get them, which is exactly what you're doing. You, the player, relate to this person because you are exactly as helpless as they are. Mike Schmidt is a blank slate character in the best way possible. Kind of like Red from Pokemon. In Pokemon, you could relate to Red in everything he does and doesn't do because Red is a complete blank slate. He has no expressions, he doesn't talk, and you know pretty much everything he knows. Red is a relatable character because he is a blank slate. Just as much as Mike is a relatable character because he's a blank slate. You are Mike. Like, no, I don't mean you play as Mike. You literally feel like you're Mike. Everything Mike does is in your interest and is relatable because you control him. If you mess up, you feel like there are repercussions and something at stake because of how immersed you are in the video game. Simply said, you are doing literally everything this character does, which takes the immersion factor so high up that it sets it apart from other horror games. Of course, as a video game, it's not perfect in any way, but it is different enough to be looked at. As this is an analysis and not a review, I'd normally look deeper into the game and explain what makes it good. However, this case is also fairly special in the way that it's taken a very stereotypical flaw in most modern day horror games and reworked it into its favor. And that predictable phenomenon is the art of the jump scare. The usual problem with using a jump scare is the fact that it's usually a cheap tactic to give you a sense of surprise that's mistaken for fear. It's a tactic usually used at the beginning of horror movies about stupid and mundane things to keep someone interested in the movie at the beginning, which of course you don't have to do to keep people interested in your movie, but I digress. Point is, jump scares are treated like tissue paper, used way too often for a quick rush instead of what they're actually intended to be used for. In this game, jump scares are punishment for messing up and not doing your job. If you're doing things right, you should only have jump scares sparingly, and to be honest, that's a life lesson. You're gonna fail every so often and there will be repercussions, but that's the only way you'll get it right. This game is incredible, and because of its major burst in popularity, I feel like its popularity is going to die soon. Without much replayability, not many people will play this game multiple times. However, with such an amazing outburst, there are rumors that there will be a sequel, and hopefully this sequel will be everything the first one was and more. But the only way I can imagine it being any more immersive is if the character literally sits at a laptop and you have to type actions into the computer in order to stop the monsters from... Actually, forget everything I've said. Thank you for watching, I'm Everyday Conman and I've got a video game to make.